To Hopi, Jonathan's mom. And
No,
I was really close to her.
Oh, Dorothy, breaks my heart.
No, Hopi was my partner in crime. I kind of remember like the movie of Sense and Sensibility. I was Emma Thompson and she was the other one. I was always sensible, and Dad always, he wrote me letters and he said, Dorothy, take care of Hopi because you're the stable one. Little did he know I'd be married 3 times and all over the world and alcoholic and everything else, but I was pretty stable in his eyes. So anyway, but the Lord delivered me. So with Hopi, it was kind of like, she just like was a dreamer. She was, she just wanted to do things. She was very adventurous. She didn't have any fear. It was like wherever the wind took her, hope was there and she didn't have any fear. And I love that about her. I love that she was always willing to go on these adventures with me because I was wanting the adventures too. So, but Hopi was such a kind person and she had a lot of cards that weren't well in her deck. As we know, she did suffer from mental illness and she had a lot of times where she had to get the help she needed, and at the end of her life she was in a nursing home. But the neat thing was, wherever Hopi was, she was Santa Claus. She liked to give. And she always was dressed up so pretty when I went to see her. She had her earrings on and her nice bling outfits and everything. And she always wanted to give me her shoes when she was done with them. Because, the heels would always wear out on the heels. So she gave me her Skechers shoes. And I always had Skechers shoes with heels that were worn out. But that's okay, because she wanted to give. So I have a lot of customers that give me a lot of things. So I would give her tons of clothes and things like that and go into the nursing home and she'd be like, oh, I can give it to this person. I could give Melinda that thing and this. And she just loved to share what she gave. She was so happy. And it just made me happy. And I said, Hopi, you know what? Your life is not over. You have purpose here because there's a lot of people that need you. There's a lot of friends to be made and so on. So that was like the last year of her life was pretty good. She had her own little apartment and Jonathan came out to see his mom a few times and that blessed her because, they had the relationship with each other. And, I just feel like sometimes a person gets tired and she got tired at the end, but she did a good job. Because it wasn't easy for her. She, back in the days when we were younger and, when you have mental illness in the 70s, I have ADHD, if you haven't noticed. And the thing is, I learned to cope with it. But what I'm trying to say is Hope tried to cope with it. I mean, it's not like today where you get like good doctors and the right medicines and things like that. So she had a lot of figuring out to do, and so did I, and so did everyone else in my family. But why I'm saying that is because her soul was so good, and we have a sister, Stacy, that passed on to about 15, 16 years ago. I can't even remember. And she always said to me, Stacy, Hope has been through so much hardship, yet she always keeps a sweet spirit. And that's how I looked at Hope. I couldn't believe her life. It was hell at times. She had so much tragedy in her life, but she always laughed. She always giggled. Hey, I remember just being around her little giggle. Can you bring me a cupcake coffee? She was just the sweetest girl. She really was. And I love that about her, and I truly missed her. And there were days that I just made a commitment to see her all the time, and every week, at least once a week. And it was a pretty long drive, but I always thought to myself, I need to do this because one day I won't be able to do it anymore. And this day has come. But now, because she's resting with the Lord and whatever He has in store for her, that's just the most beautiful thing to me, because I know she's at peace. She's not suffering anymore, and that one day I will see her again. We can go hitchhike across the country again, or maybe fly wherever God has for us. So, but I know all you had stories about Hope too. So I want you guys to feel free to get up here and share. Thank you.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Come on, Joe.
Mine's going to be very short. You go right ahead, my darling.
You got 30.
I'm fat, remember?
There's some tissues. They're viral tissues, so.
Oh no.
That's why I stood up.
I really got on Hopi's case one day because when we were children, she used to pick on me every day. And I never forgot it.
Right.
So we're adults now, and I confronted her. I said, Hopi, do you know you really treat me like shit growing up? And you know what she said? I'm so sorry I put you through that.
Aww.
And that's what I wanted to hear, I guess. When I had my back surgery in 2015, she came every day to see me because I couldn't work. You know, I was home, like, I was in a walker. She paid her own cab fare to come over my house every day. Didn't ask for any money. Come over during the day and go home right when my husband would be home from work. And she did this for several weeks. And I know she was on fixed income, so it wasn't like she had all this money to burn. And I never forgotten that because it meant more to me than you know, anything. She took a cab because you know, didn't drive or have her car or whatever. And I never forgotten that. And her last words to me were, "I love you." And of course it was through video because of the COVID and we couldn't go see her. So after that, that was her last words, and that's how I would like to remember her. She did have a good spirit. She was very close with my sister Dorothy. Dorothy went out of her way, and I don't mean just out of her way. She really, whenever Hope needed something, Dorothy was right there for her. Right there. So we need to thank this woman right here because
So wait.
she loved.
Not about me.
No, she
today.
loved Hopi more than anything in this world. Yes. And when Hopi died, my heart went out to you because I knew how close we were. Kind of close at the end, which is great because you know I had that chip on my shoulder and she was very sincere about it. Like, I'm truly sorry I put you through all that when we were growing up. That's all I wanted to hear, you know. But that's all. I'm gonna let my sister Rhea come up here and say a few words.
Yay!